Hi guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about the subject of how will the human species go extinct? Well, the thing is that scientifically speaking, in some way, well, all creatures on Earth that have been living, well, at least 99.9% of creatures on Earth, well, they do go extinct. That's kind of how it goes, that's kind of how it happens, that's kind of how the nature of the beast is. Every living creature who lives will eventually die. And I don't think because humans are supposedly more intellectually intelligent than a lot of animals, and that we build stuff and that we actually live pretty long lives, that we will actually be able to not, well, go extinct as a species. But now let's take into consideration how we will not get extinct. Well, first of all, we must not be able to basically kill ourselves through wars, because that's one thing that is kind of scary as technology gets better, as you know, weapons of mass destruction can go from one place of the world to another in easier and easier ways, and the world is basically getting smaller. So the weapons are getting more intricate, they're getting more powerful, and at the same time the world is getting smaller. So by having the combination of those two things, well, that means that we could basically destroy a lot of stuff on this earth just by pressing a button. And that's very scary, because if one nation were to do something like that, well, then maybe other nations might attack back and create some other chaos. And with that, well, can come the end of the world. And not just for humanity, but also for the ecosystem of Mother Earth, and the fact that there's rain, snow, all that stuff, like how they talk about all this, you know, the world is getting hotter, the world is getting colder, etc., etc., etc. And then secondly, if we're not going to get extinct from wars or from even disasters such as maybe a meteorite falling on Earth, or whatever like decides to basically change the ecosystem that Mother Nature has for us now, because it is very fragile. But what could happen is, again, but that's millions and millions of years from now, where basically, well, the heat of the sun would destroy us. And if that happens, well, then everything on Earth gets destroyed and then we're extinct. But in order to overcome that, well, this is where it gets interesting in some way. And I think that the pioneers are actually going to be the astronauts, and going to be the people that in some way start colonizing space. And it seems a little bit far-fetched, but I think that the moment that we manage to like have permanent buildings on the moon, or maybe later on Mars, and we start spreading out as a human species, well, that gives us more of a chance to actually survive as a species, obviously. So really the only way that we can hopefully hope that we don't get extinct is if we manage to get out of this Earth and eventually live on other planets and colonize space. And the more you colonize, the more you do, the more chances of living longer exist. But at the same time, they do say that even the universe itself is not infinite. It's from the Big Bang, well, it's kind of like an elastic in some ways. So even though it's expanding, at some point it has to stop expanding, right? So there's many theories saying that now with an explosion there's an implosion. So if that happens, well, no matter what, in some way, if the universe is going to get destroyed, well, there's nowhere else to go except if they find something else. But the reality is that no matter how long we live as a species, no matter how long we can go on, we must enjoy it, because even if it's in a couple of hundreds of years, thousands of years, millions of years, billions of years, pretty much everything that we know, that we've loved, has existed, will be different, will be extinct. And that's kind of the price that we pay for living. But I'm glad to be alive, and if that's the price to pay, well, what can I say? Better than nothing, right? Okay, have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.